Hello you, thank you for coming back to our Crypto SA channel. My name is Jose and I'm here to talk to you about Bitcoin. Okay, well, so here we are. It can't be more iconic than this. We have like Bitcoin facing resistance in the top trend line of this downward sloping channel. Okay, and this is a channel that tends to break to the upside. We told you after this bearish divergence, this bullish divergence here on the daily level B, that a pump would be very likely, and that's what we got from when we told you about this bullish divergence up to now. It's like a 23% pump for Bitcoin, which is great. Okay, but now what's happening is we're pretty much facing the same kind of divergence, not exactly the same, but from the last stops. If you see this one in here, there was like this top and it was like a higher low, a higher high here, a higher high, and it was like a lower high in here. This is a bearish divergence on the daily. Now we're not facing such a thing, although if you put it like in these terms, we have like from this high in here to this high, like a straight line pretty much, right? They're about in the same place. If you get this one, the very last top, it's a straight line. And if you get this top in here, sorry, which is this last top, you see we have a lower high. We have a lower high in here, right? It's not in here, so this is lower highs, and somewhat, you know, from here to here, it's a straight line. Okay, and in this case it's a level B bearish divergence. We had a level B bullish divergence, now I have a level B bearish divergence. That being said, Bitcoin can be due to a correction here, can be a slight correction, but this is something that we need to take into consideration. And if we come to see the levels of bearishness and bullishness, well, now it's not that we're bullish, but we're above the neutral level for the weekly, and we cross the neutral level is here. Neutral level is the lower. This is for the daily, the blue one. This is for the weekly, the magenta. So we're above both neutral levels, and we're facing the resistance of the monthly, the gray area, the monthly bullish region. So this happened once, and we had like a very strong rejection, and now we're facing the level of the bullishness for the daily, which is here. As you can see, it's the top range here, the green range, and we have a stochastic that's kind of exhausted. So yeah, we can be due to a correction. We don't know how big it can be, but you know how strong, but that's something we should consider. Okay, if we come here, we have the $77,000 range as our weekly bullish resistance, right? And we have like targets to look for in here if we are to break from these channels. And like this one in here has these two possible targets. One of them would be around here if that's the case, and the other one would be around here. Have a look. It's a very it's very accurate how the weekly and the break to the upside from this gray channel can take Bitcoin to the $77,800 range. Okay, so I think for now these are very important things to talk about. And more than that, if we just erase these channels, I'll leave the targets and you're gonna see why. If we put the lines, have a look at the lines. This line here, which is like the line that denotes the break to the upside from the downward sloping channel, comes exactly to this yellow resistance line. Of course, this is a deviation to the upside. We've had these deviations sometimes, so we can consider that Bitcoin can have such deviations again. And this one goes a little further to the upside. So let's just mark here these possible targets for Bitcoin, and this is one, and this is another one. Okay, and I'll leave these ones out for now. And you see that this line is still like a line of possible possible. No, it's going to be for sure. It's going to be a resistance. But can we go up to this line right now and then get a rejection? Because I do think with the strength that we have at this very moment, it's very likely that there's going to be a rejection to this line at the $66,000 range. Okay, and now let's see the fib levels, because they are very important to have a look at. And then we go to the 4 hourly to check on specifics. So for now, what's happening is that we're facing the main golden pocket resistance, which is reasonable, right? Because it's the golden pocket from this whole movement, and it's serving as strong resistance for the continuation of the run to the upside. Okay, and you see how this green line now is matching with the 883 fib at the $70,000 range. Okay, this is something important to note. So of course, if we can open the daily candles above this fib, or close and reopen daily candles above this fib, we are due to a very we're most probably due to a strong run to the upside, as it's happened quite some times here. If you can see, of course there were rejections as in these cases, because they had other rejection lines. This can happen here as well. It can like make a fake out above the golden pocket and get a rejection. So we need to check it level by level. So let's get the other fibs that are important to consider. First one, this bottom, this top, and this bottom here. What about this fib? We're above the golden pocket region for this one. If we come back below it, then we need to be careful and maybe think that correction down to the $58,000 range here to the 382 is reasonable to try to regain strength and see if we can come all the way up to the 883 or even the 1 fib level. Okay, you see that the 786 is working as resistant at the moment. So it's something that we need to observe. And so this was this guy here, and we have one last fib to have a look that is important, which is from this top to this bottom. And in this case, we're facing the confluent resistance of the 883 here. So this is a very important level to take into consideration, because as you see that we have like a confluence of a fib, of a golden pocket, and an 883. So I mean, it could be that we come down to this level here to retest the support, right? Because then in this case we're talking about the shorter time frame fib, you see. So in this case, I think you see the thickness of the golden pockets that we considered. They are about the same size as the time that we're considering. The thicker one is the bigger fib. The second thicker is like from this movement right here, and the thinnest one is the one from this small movement from the end of August up to the beginning of September. That's the movement that we're trying to fight against at the moment, right? So yeah, so far I think then we should consider like the $60,000 range as a very important support for the for gaining strength to come here to the upside and try to break this white line. And let's get to the 4 hourly just for a second to see how the 4 hourly is behaving, what kind of matching supports and resistances we have. And in this case, we do have a matching support, which is the top of the bearish area for the RSI, and this lower fib, this lower golden pocket, which is going to be this zone right here, like to regain strength here. And you see that the stochastic is tending to the downside right here, so there's a tendency for us to try to correct, especially if we lose these levels here, which are the bullish level and the EMA that we're trying to fight against, to see if we can, for example, regain like here some sort of strength to break this thicker golden pocket. And if we come here to the lower time frames, what's happening is that we're now creating, so far we created the first lower high. Like there was a lower high right here and a kind of double top, right? So this can be considered like a double top if I am to say anything. This is an area of a double top, and I would lighten this up so that if we go through this resistance region right here around what, the $63,900 range, of course it could be we could fake out to the upside in here, or even break to the upside and go reach the white line that we're talking about, the $65,000 range. But it seems to me like a double top here on the 1 hourly even, you know, if it's to consider like how it's behaving, I'd say this is an actual double top, and we need to then try to regain strength and see if it's going to be possible for Bitcoin to go through this resistance region here. Otherwise, it can be considered like a short zone for a scalp short here to these lower levels where Bitcoin might find support again around here, or I'll green this out to you. Looks like more of like a support region around the 61.9, the $60,100 range, before we actually have strength to break to the upside again, because there's a bearish divergence here in the 1 hourly already, and we might come to the oversold area for the 1 hourly, which so far is around here. So I mean the 61.9, that is, I mean, if we consider this going to the upside, is a region where I would consider, if this holds a support, to get the maybe one more leg to the upside. We don't know how the market's going to behave next week. If we take the 15-minute as into consideration, for example, even the bullish area for the 4 hourly is something to consider. But so far, now this is not a bearish divergence anymore. We had like this small slight bullish divergence in here that led to this the second attempt of breaking this region, this resistance region. Here we didn't even pass through it didn't even go through the lower range of the resistance area. So I think we might be like on the verge of like a small correction, to even if it is to keep going to the upside. But I think these are levels for you to consider, and I hope this video was worth watching for you. I thank you again for coming to the Crypto SA channel, and I hope all my advice has been useful for you in your trading capabilities, and I use a method that is quite simple. And well, so if you like it, please like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll be more than glad to answer you. If you want to go to our Telegram channel, the link is going to be down below as well. We talk about the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, Russell, DXY. We talk about like probabilities for the market in general. It's in Portuguese, but you can use translators nowadays that are very easy. Okay, so that's it, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye.